Today on Ask This Old House.
Thanks so much for coming to Birmingham.
Thanks for having me. Wow, look at this space, this big open loft. This is incredible.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm heading to Alabama to install a sliding barn door. All right, I'm gonna set my end down and you roll yours up to me.
I'll talk about the different choices when it comes to roofing material.
The key to a dry basement is getting the water away from the house as much as possible. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay, what's a drywell?
Drywell is basically just a big hole to accept all the water that we're pulling out of the house.
And if you're gonna put solar panels on your roof, make sure you keep the squirrels away.
But why are they chewing wires? What do they like about wire?
It's their teeth. They grow 10 inches a year.
Their teeth do?
It's a teething toy.
Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to a brand new season of Ask This Old House. Our team's had a little bit of a break, but now they're rested and they're all here ready to answer your questions. So keep them coming. Richard, fired up, ready to go?
Look at this kid.
What are you working
new
on?
pictures of my grandson. Look how big he's getting.
Adorable.
Smart like his grandfather, too.
But you know what? If the little man can't sweat pipe or glue some PVC, he's no good to us.
Right.
Did you see the emails?
Yeah, a bunch of emails from people with stuff they need fixed and stuff. I'll get to it.
It's not going to fix itself, Richard. Get to it. Jen, Mark, how are you guys doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Fired up for the new season?
We got fired up.
Totally fired up.
Ready to get to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already got a project going on.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Drainage or something?
Little drainage thing I got to get at, but and I'm on my way.
Get at,
I'm
Mark.
going.
Come on,
I'm
the
going.
season has started. Nathan,
that'd be
Tommy,
good.
you guys look like you're having a little coffee clatch here. You guys going to do any work, or you guys just going to blah, blah,
We've
blah?
got everything together here. We're ready to go, Sonny.
What are you working on?
Well, I'm heading to Alabama right now. I got my tools, so I'm ready to go.
Wow, good for you.
See you guys.
Tools ready to go.
Don't be so surprised.
New guy.
New guy, and he's ready.
We need some more new guys.
We do. I know. Well, yeah, we could use some new guys.
Well, thanks so much for coming to Birmingham.
Thanks for having me. Wow, look at this space, this big open loft. This is incredible.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, my husband and I own the building. We did the renovations, and we've been living here for about a year.
Wow, you guys really knocked it out of the park with the industrial look, the open ductwork and the elevated workspace. But you wrote me about a door.
Yeah, it's in the master bedroom.
Let's take a look.
Okay. So as you can see, the architect designed the space with the open concept in mind, which is great. We love that.
Yeah.
We do have a door to the bedroom, but we have this half wall here, so everything's completely open, including the bathroom. So we have an ensuite bathroom, and we were fine with no door at first, but I think now we'd like a little extra privacy.
I can understand that. You really want to separate the bedroom from the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
But what do you have in mind for a door?
We were thinking maybe a sliding barn door would look really cool in the space.
Oh, that'd be a good look. You have a great usable wall right here for it. And the kits they have now, nice large doors with the black iron hardware on it.
Okay.
It'll really go along with that industrial look that you have.
Yeah.
So let me pull some measurements and I'll go get the kit. We'll get started.
That sounds great.
All right.
Now you can watch This Old House and Ask This Old House anytime, anywhere. Download our new app to stream full episodes to your tablet, your TV, and your phone. Binge on classic episodes, catch up on recent renovations, and get step-by-step help projects all around the house. And best of all, it's free. The most trusted home improvement information is now available on your Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, iOS, and Android devices. Download the This Old House streaming app today.
So here's the door, Stephanie. What do you think?
I think it looks great.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
This is actually an alder wood, which is kind of a relative of a birch.
Okay.
It's nice. It's got a lot of character to it. You can see this is the hardware here that we're going to use. These are the rollers, and they're already pre-drilled up top. So we'll mount that. We got a nice big handle that will mount about 32 inches up off the floor.
Okay.
And as you can see, it comes unfinished. It actually has a lot of knots and some character to it. We could clear coat that and kind of highlight it, or we could stain it a little darker and hide those. What do you think you'd want to do?
I like the idea of going a little bit darker.
A little darker?
Yeah, I think that would blend in well.
I like that too. In this kit, they supplied us with a piece of 1x4 stock, and this is actually the mounting board that we're going to apply across the top. It's going to do two things for us. First is we're going to be able to screw anywhere. We're going to get right into our studs, get right into structure. Second is it's going to give us a build out so we can avoid any base or trim around your opening. And one thing I noticed though is when I put the level on your wall, at about 6 feet, you're out just under 3/4 of an inch.
Oh my goodness,
So
you're
you
right.
can imagine if we hang that door, it's going to want to naturally fall plumb on the track, and then it's going to hit onto your base or onto your casing. So to compensate, I'm going to pad that out another 3/4 of an inch, and that'll give us the ability to clear all the problems.
Okay.
All right. So I like to apply my stain with a rag, and that works really well for the flat surface areas. And then if you have some real heavy areas, we'll come back with a fresh rag and strike those off.
All right. Do you think we just need one coat or more than one?
I think we'll just start with one. This is a pretty dark stain. I think this Alder will really take it well. The nice part about this water base is there's quick drying time and not much odor.
Yeah, it doesn't smell at all. I'm kind of surprised by that.
And for the really tight spots, we can use a cotton swab.
Okay.
Bring it up to your line. I've already located the studs and pre-drilled those locations through our mounting board, which makes setting the screws go quicker. I'm going to set the first screw, and then I'm going to put the level back on. I'm going to put the level across it, and we'll just double check to make sure that we're running level. Perfect right there. All right, here is the steel track that the door is going to roll on. And to gain a little space between that and our board, we're going to use these wall spacers. They're going to go right below these pre-drilled holes, and we're going to sandwich it all together.
Okay.
This mounting board attaches to our build-out with screws. I've left this board long and mitered the ends so we can add a mitered return piece on the corners for a finished look. I want to pre-drill before I set the trim nails so I don't split the wood. Then we tighten up these lag screws with a socket wrench. I want to set them all loosely to start. All right, we'll work our way down. And then we can cinch them up at the end. All right, so these are the stops. There's a left and a right, and these are pretty important because these are going to keep the door from rolling off the end. But also, you can adjust them. So if you wanted the door to stop a little bit further back or a little bit past, you can fine tune it. All right, the stain's dry. Let's go ahead and attach the hardware. All right, nice and tight?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right, let's go hang it up. All right, I'm going to set my end down and you roll yours up to me. Perfect. All right, we'll reposition it. All right, we're going to bring it in and hook the rollers right on that track. All right, perfect. There it is. It's rolling.
Oh, it looks great.
Nice. And the last step is to add this floor guide. I'm going to set it right at the edge of the door so when it closes, either way, it's still covered. I'll put it down. Trace one side. I take the door off, secure it, and then put the door back on. The floor guide is installed, and I also added these anti-jump blocks up top. And what that does is it fills the space between the track and the door so the rollers can't jump off of the track. If you ever need to, you can flip those out, take the door off.
Awesome.
Give it a try, see what you think.
Okay. Oh, it's perfect.
Nice.
It's perfect, and it blends in so well with the room. Gives us some extra privacy. It's great.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming to Alabama.
Thanks for having me.
Want to tackle all your home improvement projects with confidence? Join This Old House Insider, a new streaming service from This Old House, the iconic Emmy-winning series that inspired a generation of home enthusiasts. Stream over 1,000 episodes of This Old House and Ask This Old House, commercial-free. Watch it all in the This Old House app. and join live online Q&As with our experts. Best of all, you can try Insider free for 7 days. To join, go to thisoldhousemembership.com.
Tommy, we're talking roofing materials today, and you have installed your share of roofs over the years.
Far too many to count, Kevin.
And most of them were probably with asphalt shingles, the most common roofing material.
Most common roofing material, and actually 3-tab asphalt shingles were very common. And now they have what is called architectural shingles, which instead of having 3 individual tabs, you now have a shingle that's built up without any slots. And they also have these in different thicknesses or different grades.
And so this is a cost-effective roof, which is one of the reasons why it's most popular.
Yep.
You can get what in terms of lifespan out of it? 10 years, 15 years?
You can get 20 years, 15, 20 years easily. Some of them are saying 25 on the basic shingle.
Right, and then you can upgrade to a higher grade shingle and buy a longer warranty?
Up to 50 years. Again, that's the thickness of the shingle, so it's going to cost more money for the shingle. It's going to cost a little more money for labor because it's a heavier material.
All right. The other type of shingle roof that we see a lot around here in New England is a wooden shingle. Cedar is a common material.
It's been used for many, many years, and when done correct, you can get a lot of life out of it. A wood roof basically is installed. It has to get wet. When it gets wet, it swells, and that's what makes it watertight. But first, the shingle has to get wet.
Right, but it also has to dry out. Otherwise, we're going to get rot, we're going to get mold, mildew, and that drying process is critical for the installation.
Very critical. That's why the old Yankees would put it on what is called skip sheathing, where there were wide gaps between the boards to get plenty of air underneath it. But today, they're not doing skip sheathing. You're doing plywood. The shingles can't lay on the plywood. They can't lay on the felt paper. So now they have venting materials that come in rolls and basically lifts the shingles off of the substrate, allowing them to dry underneath.
In terms of cost, you could be paying twice or more for a wood roof than asphalt, right?
I would say most cases a lot more than double.
And then in terms of lifespan, how long can you get out of a good wood roof?
When done right, and depending on the location of the roof, trees, no trees, high wind area, you could get 50 years out of it.
Nice, that's cool. Metal roofs is another material, one of my favorites. It's kind of bulletproof. I mean, it is just this one big, long, continuous sheet of metal. Well, I mean, it's actually got seams, but everything's connected.
Well, the seams are running up the roof
Vertically,
as opposed to horizontally.
Which is great, because if the wind starts blowing, you know, even a well-installed asphalt or wooden shingle, you still have the opportunity for wind to drive water up underneath.
Right.
With a metal roof, it's just continuous all the way.
It's continuous all the way. Less chance of that roof leaking under windy conditions and any conditions. In New England, we get a lot of snow, so the snow can slide right off the roof. In some cases, you have to big barriers to stop it from sliding in entryways because you don't want to get hit with it.
And several different choices of material as well.
Steel to galvanized to galvalume to copper, lead-coated copper. It can go on and on.
Way more expensive than an asphalt roof.
Depending on the material, it could be 5 times more.
And in terms of durability, though, we can get...
You can get 100 years out of it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And then the other type of roof to talk about are tile roofs, clay tiles, or up here we see a lot of slate roofs. I mean, they look beautiful.
Right. That's a beautiful roof, and it will last a long time. The problem is you have to build for the added weight of that roof.
Those are heavy materials.
Right. So if you have a shallow roof as opposed to a steep pitch roof, the structure has to be different to accommodate that weight.
Gotcha. All right. Well, good overview, Tommy. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Hey, Ross.
Hey, Kev.
Solar. Okay. So what are we talking about today? Improved efficiencies, new technology. What do you got for us?
Troubleshooting.
What?
Yeah, troubleshooting.
Really?
Doesn't happen often, but occasionally you hear of failures of wires.
Man.
And look at this. So this came off of a rooftop solar array, 20 panels total. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That is completely shredded. What the heck caused that?
Nibble marks. Is that a clue? Squirrels.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
They like wires too?
So if you think about this installation, right, up on a roof, you got the frame, you got an air gap between it and the roof. And that's a perfect place for squirrels to get in behind the panels.
But why are they chewing wires? What do they like about wire?
It's their teeth. They grow 10 inches a year.
Their teeth do?
It's a teething toy.
Cut it out.
Yeah, they love plastic and they want to get right through it, and that's what you get.
So they have to chew.
They're just chewing away.
And I presume this means the panel's completely shot.
Compromise, yeah. Yeah, so in that installation, all 20 panels got replaced. 12 out of the 20 completely failed. They also go after the main bus wiring and the inverter wiring. And you can see they went right through.
We should not be seeing the colored wires.
To the solid black like that.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
So compromised completely.
So what's the solution? Because I've chased a lot of squirrels in my days, and they're hard to get rid of.
The simple solution is a mesh barrier. So it's like chicken wire. It gets mounted around the perimeter of the entire solar array, and it basically becomes a block between the panels and the roof.
So cage them out.
Try to keep them out, yeah.
Just like a
Thank goodness this homeowner had monitoring. So they could actually see that there was a problem and that 12 panels out of the 20 had been knocked out. If they didn't have monitoring, they wouldn't have known, and it could have been years before they actually got noticed.
Just squirrel food for 20 years.
That's right.
So whose nickel is all this done on?
So on PPAs and solar leases, it's on the solar provider.
So, okay, the person who owns the equipment.
The people, yeah, exactly. And then if it's a if it's an owned system, it's on the homeowner.
Right, got it. All right. Well, good information, and well, now we know.
It's cheap insurance.
Yeah, thank you, Ross.
Chris, great backyard.
Thank you. So right now we have a French drain going around the perimeter of the foundation.
Okay.
And also a sump pump in the basement. So what's usually happening is when we get a lot of this heavy rain, the sump pump's just pumping out of this pipe that was left by the previous owner, and it's all collecting by the bottom of the steps.
Right, okay, the first thing oh, there it goes right there.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of water right there. Okay, so we're gonna have to control that. The grade is all wrong. The pipe is short, so you can see that it's not taking the water far enough away. I can see at the bottom of the stairs where you have the wood, it's probably where ice will build up in the winter time. Spring, summer, and fall, you're probably tracking mud into the house, which obviously is not desirable.
Exactly, and it always seems like the pump's running forever.
Yeah, when the water is ejected from the house, it kind of circulates its way back to the bottom of that foundation and then gets spit back out, and that cycle continues. That's probably why you see the pump on as much as you do.
Yeah, it always sounds like that thing's running.
That's right. So what we want to do is take all of this away from the house. So I think we need to trench over here and bring everything this way, and then hopefully gravity will take care of the rest.
That sounds great.
All right, let's get going.
Perfect.
All right, so we're going to make a few changes. The first one is we're going to increase the size of the pipe from 3 inches to 4 inches. That's just because of the volume of water we have coming out of the house.
Okay.
Secondly, we're going to make sure we bury this pipe. We don't want to trip over it. We don't want to bump it with the lawnmower, so we do want to bury it. Thirdly, you're not too far from the house, which is our original problem. You're only 10 feet. So we're going to take this 10 foot, we're going to extend it another 10 feet, which will give us 20 feet of solid pipe.
Okay.
So that way we know we're not going to have any backlash of the water going back into the pump.
Sure. Now what's these perforations for?
So this is going to be the third 10-foot extension, and these perforations are going to handle any overflow that we have coming off the house, and then eventually make its way down here, which is going to be a dry well.
Okay, what's a dry well?
Dry well is basically just a big hole to accept all the water that we're pulling out of the house. It's going to be about 4 by 4, so if it does end up percolating and overflowing a little, gravity is going to take it away from the house. So that's what we're going to do. But what we're going to use to fill the dry well is this 3/4 inch stone, and that's going to allow the water to disperse easily throughout the dry well.
Perfect.
All right, so why don't we get some digging tools and get going?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, the first thing I need you to do is just cut this turf. I'm going to start here, go down that way, you stick to that side, and we're just going to cut it all the way down. This is soft dirt.
Now how far down are we going?
We'll end up going about 8 or 12 inches down. All right, as we get closer to the perforated pipe, we're going to want to go a little deeper and a little wider. That's going to allow us to use more gravel, which will help us with the flow. We want to carefully scrape off the grass and set it aside so we can replant it later. So what I want to do now is just take the dirt, put it there, because when we're done with all this, what we're going to do is level out all the spots that have been damaged by the water overflow.
Great.
So Chris, just remember as we get closer to the dry well, we're going to want to keep a pitch on the pipe, so you're going to end up going a little bit deeper.
Perfect.
All right, we're getting down to the business end of this trench. Let me break it up a little with this pick. All right, I think the depth is good enough. Now the next thing we're going to do is fill this hole with a 3/4 inch stone, but before I do that I want to add this landscape fabric. This is just going to keep the topsoil from infiltrating the 3/4 inch stone and clogging up the drywell, so it's a very important piece. Now this only has to go as far as the perforated pipe. I want to build up the 3/4 stone a few inches at a time, compacting each layer with a hand tamper. Throw it right in. Okay, I'll take another one right away.
Sounds good.
All right, Chris, we want to put a bed of that stone down before we put the pipe, so give me a little here.
All right.
Good. Move her down. Just pass me that pipe, Chris.
Sure.
All right. You see that quarter bubble right there?
Yep.
That indicates to me that we're going to get a 1/4 inch pitch every foot.
Okay.
So that ought to be plenty to get us down to the drywell.
Great.
Now that we have the pipe all glued together, let's get the 3/4 inch stone. Back up, Chris. All right, move down. Great. We'll take one more. All right, grab that end. You're gonna hold it, I'm gonna walk it down. We're gonna put it onto the stone, and then we'll fold the other fabric on top of it.
All right.
All right, that's it. All right, if you can just hold that like that. I'm gonna add a little stone just to hold that down. And then we'll get some soil on top of that.
Sounds good.
That's good. Just make sure you keep it low enough so we can put the grass back.
Sure.
That looks good though. One of the most important things we did today was we put this cap onto the 4-inch pipe to adapt it to that discharge pipe of 2 inches.
Okay.
That's going to keep the leaves, the debris, everything out of there so we're clog free in the pipe. The other thing we did that was important is we took the extra dirt from the trench and we kind of spread it out all over the grade. We knocked down some peaks, we picked up some valleys and basically leveled out what we could.
Okay.
So all you're going to have to do with these areas is just sprinkle some seed, get the hose out, keep it wet, and then in a week or so, you'll never know we were here.
It looks great. Thank you so much.
All right, Chris, take care.
Thanks.
Nice dry basement for Chris. He's going to be
Right.
happy, right?
He is.
So in the past, when we've installed dry wells with Roger, he's put in something like this, which,
Yep.
as you know, there's nothing in here. It's just a big void, and you surround it with gravel.
Right.
Why not this versus what you used?
You know what? I just didn't need it. This was a big lot. I had a lot of space to put the water. I would use this for probably a tighter lot where I didn't have the space to run the water.
Yeah.
So that's basically why.
So more capacity, but like you said, you didn't need it.
I didn't need it.
All right, good information.
All
Thank you. All right, we are off to a brand new season, and we'd love to hear from you. So keep those letters and those emails coming. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
I'm Mark McCullough.
for Ask This Old House. So you don't need this.
Nah, just throw it.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.